Hello everybody, it's Al, and wanted to do a quick video on two of my favorite rifles. The bottom one is an H&R Handi-Rifle in 4570. The top one is also an H&R, but that's the Buffalo Classic that has a 32-inch barrel. And these are just fantastic hunting rifles. Their triggers are very good on it. They're well balanced, and they have some serious knockdown power. The probably my favorite of the two, obviously, is this guy here for hunting. The other one's more for sporting and target shooting, that kind of stuff. What I did to this rifle here, this came with a regular sight right here. Replace that out and order a Williams sight for this rifle here, and essentially the screws are already or the barrel's already drilled on tap, and it's got screws covering it in it, so you could put a rail here for a scope. Simply took the two screws out, mounted this sight on it, this peep sight, and then put the screws, or remove the original sight, rear sight, and covered it back with screws, and put a little bit of Loctite on that. And now that gave me probably another good 7 inches or so of additional sight radius, which makes it more accurate. So you can see I have a sling attached to it. Highly recommend that. The gun is just handles beautifully, balances extremely well, has a great recoil pad in it. The Buffalo Classic has a crescent shaped steel pad, but it weighs a lot more than this guy here, so you don't really feel the kick all that much. That 4570 kicks about as much as a 12 gauge, maybe a little bit more, simply because the charge is just a lot stouter on these rifles here. But it's got a beautiful schnabel front end. You can see the cut checkering they did here. The receiver is color case hardened, and if we move back here, there's additional cut checkering in the stock. It's got real nice walnut wood, and when we compare it to the regular Handi-Rifle, it's just some pretty plain. Not sure if that's birch. It's definitely not oak, and the receiver is just blued. It's not color case hardened, but both of the rifles actually have some really outstanding crowning on the barrels that really leads to good accuracy, protects the muzzle. And you can see that the Buffalo Classic comes with a Lyman globe sight versus the regular Handi-Rifle, which comes with a regular blade sight. I'm not, to be quite honest, not so sure that the globe sight adds anything more than this guy does. I changed the insert to put a regular post with a little dot on the end, and that is the most accurate insert for me anyways, for this rifle here. But they're really nice to handle, really easy to take to the field with you. It won't get you tired at all. You can walk with these things all day long. Now, what's a 4570? Well, the 4570 Government is a cartridge that was developed in 1873 and adopted by the US Army. And here we have two configurations: a jacketed hollow point 300 grain, and then there's a laser cast 400 grain bullet here, 405 grain. Compare that to a 223 5.56 round or a 22, and you can begin seeing the difference in power of the round itself. This round is good for 300 yards, although with these sights here, with the standard sights that come from factory on the Buffalo Classic and the one that I added here, these are only good for 200 yards. After 200 yards, the bullet drop is more than the elevation can give you here, so at that point you would need a tangent rear sight that, you know, can be elevated higher. Now, as far as the power of the cartridge itself, easily you can take it out to 300 yards, given the right sights or even given a scope. The 300 grain bullet for these rifles here, because these are modern rifles, they have about the same strength as a Ruger number 1. This guy here can be loaded to 2,600 feet per second, and that gives you 3,900 foot-pounds of energy. That's 3,900 foot-pounds of energy. The 405 grain bullet can be loaded to 1,600 feet per second, and that'll give you about 2,400 foot-pounds of energy. Now, you may think that this is a better choice. In actuality, the 405 grain is a better choice because the bullet is not traveling as fast. When you hit bone with this guy here, it's bound to fragment, and so there won't be as much penetration. The slower bullet but heavier bullet of the 405 grain will actually penetrate about 12 inches, a full foot, into dirt. So when you're shooting into flesh and bone, this thing will definitely create some serious penetration, and the cavitation that it produces is pretty amazing. So I'll go ahead and give you some more details in just a second. All right, just like any other H&R rifle, it's operationally very easy. You simply push this takedown or this lever down, and you open up the barrels, insert your cartridge in there, close it up, pull the hammer back, pull on the trigger, and you are good to go. Buffalo Classic is the same way here, except this is obviously a much longer barrel. You don't have to really kick it because the weight of the barrel itself will open it up for you, even if it's a new rifle. And like I said, this rifle here, the Buffalo Classic, weighs probably good 3 pounds, 2 to 3 pounds more than this guy here does, than the Handi-Rifle does. And so you don't notice the recoil on this one a lot more because there's more mass behind it. So let's go ahead and do some shooting, let you take a look and see how these guys behave in the actual range. All right, so here we are. We're about 35 yards from the target. The target is that 12-inch gong that you see back there. So we're gonna go ahead and zoom out all the way. And let me go ahead and put this in the tripod. And we'll go ahead and take a few shots, let you take a look at it, and go from there. So we're gonna start with the H&R Handi-Rifle first. And we're gonna go ahead and use the 300 grain bullet. Pump it in there. And let me move over here and go hit that gong. So that's what a 300 grain will do to that 12-inch gong. Let's go ahead and take another shot. Now, something I should cover in here is that I have put a 0.05 inch aperture in here, and you can see there's a brass ring on it. That is a twilight kind of ghost ring sight, so that when you have low light condition, whatever light is available, it'll gather here, it'll be reflected into your eye, which will help you focus on the target. And there are several different apertures. The standard comes with a 0.093 aperture, so 1/10 of an inch almost, and this is half of that. The tighter the aperture, the more accurate your targeting is going to be. So again, that's the H&R Handi-Rifle, the real beauty. I love shooting this rifle. It's really a joy to shoot it. I really enjoy this guy a lot. It's easy. You can reload it fairly quickly, and this thing is deadly accurate. Out to 100 yards, it's very hard to miss with those sights. Now we'll take a look at the Buffalo Classic. So the Buffalo Classic, essentially the same rifles, the same receiver, just has a longer sight radius. It has the Lightman globe sight that you see here, and it has the same rear sight as the other one, which is a Williams sight. This one has the .093 aperture, which is the regular one. Whenever I want to do target shooting, then I'll switch them around with the other one. But this one is really a joy to shoot as well. You take this guy out to the range, and people immediately come to see what it is, because one is the power from the round, and two is the lines of the rifle, and they're just very appealing. It's a really pretty looking rifle. So let's see how that goes. Well, here I am talking and I missed the target. Let's try it again. There, that's a lot better. So I was practicing the other day and I busted one of the wires that hold my target in place. So I gotta go ahead and fix that here in short order. We'll take one more shot with the Buffalo Classic. I mean, when this thing hits, it's just a very violent impact. There's no question that this will take any animal in North America. If you load it to the appropriate power, there's nothing that you can take down here in North America. So that's it. These are my two favorite rifles, simply because they are chambered in my favorite caliber. I've actually thought about getting a lever action in 45-70. They just don't hold the same appeal to me as these old rifles do. This is just more true to me in a 45-70 chambering than a lever action. I do have a Rossi M92 lever action in 44 Magnum. That's a really good rifle. I'll do a video review on that here pretty soon. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, everybody. God bless. And take care. And if you get a chance to check out one of these Handi-Rifles in 45-70 or the Buffalo Classic, you cannot go wrong getting one of these. Thanks, everybody.